Today, we embark on a journey to uncover the fascinating story behind the dynamic duo that sparked a global phenomenon. They are the brilliant minds who brought to life the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, captivating generations with their artistic prowess and creativity. We delve into the life and work of two legendary creators, Laird and Kevin Eastman. Together, they forever changed the landscape of pop culture with their remarkable partnership and the birth of the iconic heroes in a half-shell. Peter Alan Laird was born in North Adams, Massachusetts on January 27, 1954. From a very young age, his fondness for drawing became apparent alongside his fascination with dinosaurs and robots. His interest in this subject only intensified upon discovering the captivating comics crafted by Jack Kirby and Barry Windsor Smith. Following his fine art studies at the University of Massachusetts, he ventured into the world of comic book artistry and illustration, contributing to fanzines and local newspapers. However, it wasn't until a fortuitous encounter with fellow artist Kevin Eastman in 1983 that professional success would finally find its way to him. Kevin Brooks Eastman was born on May 30, 1962 in Portland, Maine. He grew up as a comic book fan and, like his future partner, liked Jack Kirby's work, and Kamandi was his favorite title. In 1983, Kevin Eastman found himself working at a restaurant while tirelessly seeking publishers for his comics. During this time, he encountered a waitress who happened to be a student at the University of Massachusetts. Intrigued by the possibilities that lay ahead, he decided to follow her to Northampton as he continued his quest to find a suitable local underground newspaper for publishing his work. Fate intervened, leading him to cross paths with Peter Laird, who was employed in nearby Dover, New Hampshire. Formed a professional bond with Kevin, and the two embarked on a collaboration, working together on several comic book projects. One of those comics would be the work that would lead them to immortality in pop culture. In May 1984, these two artists self-published the first edition of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a 40-page comic book with an initial print run of 3,000 copies. It was financed mainly by a loan from Kevin Eastman's uncle. It was published by Mirage Studios, which was nothing more than a publishing house owned by the duo. They chose that name because there was no real studio, just kitchen tables and sofas with lap boards. Trained by their sensei, Master Splinter, the group of reptiles are a quartet of teenage anthropomorphic mutant turtles on a mission to become adept ninja warriors. Within the sewers of Manhattan, their dwelling, they take on a myriad of adversaries, from petty criminals and evil megalomaniacs to alien invaders, yet they choose to remain aloof from human society at large, navigating a unique path of heroism. Overnight, the Turtles exploded into an independent comics sensation, a parody and homage to Frank Miller's iconic works. The comic's first issue cover bore a striking resemblance to Miller's Running, while the Turtles' origin story hinted at a connection to Daredevil's own beginnings. Drawing inspiration from Miller's creation, the Hand-Foot Clan emerged as the Turtles' adversaries, a group of deadly ninja assassins. Anticipation for the comic escalated even before its publication, thanks to a mention in a comic book guide that captured the attention of enthusiastic fans. The initial print run of 3,000 copies sold out instantaneously, driving its commercial value through the roof. Originally conceived as one-issue parody, the unprecedented sales success led to a series of follow-ups, solidifying its place as an enduring comic phenomenon.
Starting with the Turtles was a fluke. It wasn't something we envisioned directing our lives towards in any way, shape, or form. It was kind of like, hey, this looks like fun. Let's publish it. Let's see what happens. Suddenly, and completely out of the blue, this Turtles phenomenon emerged. And really, from day one, it just spread over everything. It was a rapidly accelerating process that culminated in essentially taking over our lives completely.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as we are well aware, did not confine themselves to being merely a colossal independent comic book success. Instead, they transformed into a worldwide multimedia sensation owing in part to the involvement of Mark Friedman, a licensing agent. Friedman approached Eastman and Laird with a proposal to explore broader marketing avenues for this unconventional intellectual property. In January 1987, they made their way to Playmate Toys offices, a company eager to venture into the action figures business. This would lead to a hugely successful toy line, accompanied by an equally successful animated television series, turning the Ninja Turtles into a multi-million-dollar franchise whose products would be marketed for decades to come. This led to greater pressures on the two creators.
Suddenly discovering to my horror that I no longer enjoyed drawing. It was a real shock, because if I ever had anything I could rely on, it was that I loved to draw.
Becoming a pop culture phenomenon, Laird and Eastman's creation compelled them to take periodic sabbaticals from actively engaging in comic production. These breaks were necessary to address the daily demand that came with managing their now sprawling multimedia franchise. In the creative realm, like many partnerships, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird did not always see eye to eye, leading their collaboration to face challenges. During much of the 90s, the two found themselves largely detached from each other. Kevin Eastman relocated to California, while Peter Laird remained in Massachusetts. Eastman ultimately sold its share of the franchise to Laird, retaining a minor continuing revenue interest. Later, on March 1, 2008, Laird and Mirage acquired Eastman's remaining rights and interests, leading both creators to embark on completely separate career paths. Laird sold entirely of this franchise to Viacom Nickelodeon, but still retains the right to make up to 18 black and white comics per year about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In addition to his extensive involvement with the Ninja Turtles, Eastman, in 1990, founded Tundra Publishing to pursue personal projects. He co-established the Creators' Bills of Rights. Eastman's motivation extended beyond mere theory and practice, as he sought to create a platform that enabled comic creators to work for a publisher while retaining ownership of their creations. Tundra received multiple nominations for various awards during its first and second years, including Harvey Awards and Eisner Award, but despite this, the company was not making money on its titles and had to cease production. A devoted enthusiast of science fiction and fantasy magazines, much of which originated from French sources, Kevin Eastman discovered Heavy Metal magazine. What struck him was Richard Corben's proclamation of its being the second greatest influence on his artistry. In the early 90s, heavy metal became available for purchase, and Eastman was determined to acquire it. Finally, in January 1992, he fulfilled his ambition and bought the magazine. Eastman sold the magazine in January 2014. He continued to serve as publisher of the magazine until 2020, and he is a minority investor in the new heavy metal. Among his ventures as an artist, Eastman explored diverse projects, including Fistful of Blood, a black and white graphic novel blending spaghetti western and horror themes. The novel, published by Heavy Metal, featured artwork by Simon Bisley. Additionally, Eastman engaged in collaborations with Marvel Comics. As for Peter Laird, he established the Zurich Foundation, a non-profit organization with a mission to give back to the comics world. Through grants, Laird aimed to support self-publishers and provide them with opportunities for growth, while Eastman, on the other hand, materialized the ideals of the Creators' Bills of Rights from the perspective of publishers by creating Tundra Publishing. Laird's vision, in contrast, centered on funding rather than actively publishing individual works. Amid his commitments, Laird managed to dedicate time to various other comics, including the publication of Stupid Hero and collaborating with Jim Lawson on the Planet Racers trilogy of graphic novels. Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman are the testament to the transformative power of creativity and collaboration. Together, they birthed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, an idea that started as a quirky comic book parody but evolved into a global multimedia phenomenon. Their unique concept and engaging character resonate with audiences of all ages, making the Turtles household names and enduring pop culture icons. As with any creative partnership, Laird and Eastman faced challenges and disagreements, leading them to pursue separate career paths at times. However, their passion for storytelling and dedication to their craft remained unwavering. Beyond the Turtles, both creators embarked on various projects that showcased their artistic talent and further contributed to the comic book industry. Throughout their journeys, Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman have inspired countless artists, writers, and fans, proving that with imagination and determination, even the most unconventional ideas can become a success. Their legacy will continue to inspire generations of creators to come, as their work remains a shining example of the power of creativity and the enduring impact of beloved characters on the hearts of millions worldwide. I wanted to mention that the channel members option is now active, which is a very direct way to help me with the channel to be able to upload content more often and better prepared. For that small monthly monetary contribution, you can get some benefits, besides thanking my infinite gratitude, of course, which will be reflected in the videos as all members will appear in the credits. So if you were looking for the possibility to help me more directly, here you have an option. And if you don't want or can support me with money, if you hit the like button and share the content, you are already giving a gigantic help for the channel to grow and move forward.